Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to Bones Collector. This is going to be a fun video because I'm going to be able to present to you some of the best games in my library. And by best I mean games that really excite me when I go to play them. And all of the games in my library make me feel like that, but these in particular, and I want to tell you about them. They're games that play in 30 to 45 minutes, sometimes even less, and they're puzzly in nature. So they have a puzzle element to them, and I love that. So does Lori, so that's why we have quite a few of them. Now I wanted to present some games to you that weren't in the mainstream. So games like Azul, Patchwork, Reef, Calico, Isle of Cats, all those games if you've heard of before, I just left those out of this video, even though I own those and I love those games. And they could have very easily been this top 10 list. But I just wanted to make a quick video and highlight some games you may not have heard of and you can look into if you're like us and you like that 30-40 minute time frame for a game where you think really hard. So let's get going right now. And the first game I want to talk about is a game called Evergreen. Now Evergreen is a game that's kind of a sister game to Photosynthesis. And Photosynthesis is a game that we had in our library at one time and moved on to some friends, but wasn't the best at two. This is a little better at the two-player count. As a matter of fact, it plays well at solo, which Lori has done. But you have a forest here, and you're going to put sprouts and bushes and trees, and you have the ability to grow those, and you have a set of biome cards that play a big part in how you're going to plant that forest, and you have to make those selections from those biome cards, which is a nice element in this game. And then you have, of course, the sun token that goes around the forest. Just like in Photosynthesis, it casts a shadow for scoring, and the person with the most points wins. But man, this game is an evergreen game, just like the name says, and it keeps on giving. All of these games that I'm going to talk about are that type of game, and boy, this is a good one. That's Evergreen. The next one I'm going to talk about is Savannah Park by Kramer and Kiesling. Who is Kramer and Kiesling? If these guys do board games, who would have thought of it? But oh my gosh, if you don't have this game, I don't know. This game is so fascinating because it takes one simple mechanic and builds a whole game around it, and in the meantime, it hurts your head. Laura and I can play this game in 20 minutes and just set it right back up. Let's do that again. And we do it again, and we set it back up, and we do it again 3 or 4 times. And it just is so enriching and so wonderful and exciting to play. Let me show you something in this. All your little pieces come in these tuck boxes, which is cool enough. You have player boards that are going to be in the box here, but they have all these little tuck boxes, and your pieces are going to be in there. And those tokens are going to go on your player board here. Looks like that, just some hexes, you know, nothing fantastic. But here's the rub. What you're going to do in this game is lay all those tokens face down, and they have the same picture when you have them face down as they do when you have them face up. But you're going to pick one of those face down tokens, and you're going to look at it and you'll call out what it is. 2 giraffes with a watering hole, or 3 elephants, or an elephant, a giraffe, and what's the zebra. And you're going to call out what's on that tile, and so that other player or other players, because it plays 4, have to select that same tile, pick it up off their board, and you have to put it down somewhere else on your board. You cannot lay it back down into that same hex that you took it out of. And you have a little meerkat that you put on that square to remind you, hey, I can't put the tile back on that square. And there are certain scoring opportunities that have to do with where you place that tile. You have fires, and around those fires, if it's a double fire, you can't put any tokens around that double fire that have 2 animals on them, because if you do, it doesn't score at the end of the game. And it makes you so mad, because once you're finished with laying all those tiles, inevitably you will say, oh my gosh, I put a 3 elephant tile with a water hole right next to that 3-fired hex on the board. You may have had 7 elephant tiles in a contiguous fashion on your board, and now you have to take that 1 elephant tile out, that triple that's next to the triple fire. Now you only have 4 elephant tiles or 2 elephant tiles, each of them with 1 watering hole instead of 3. You were going to score 21 points. Now you get the biggest one, which would be the 4 tile with 1 watering hole, 4 points instead of 21, and it'll just drive you crazy. But oh my gosh, it's a sweet kind of crazy, and I can't imagine anybody that plays board games not having Savannah Park in their library. And there's a sister game to this that we played also.
Caldera Park.
Caldera Park, just as sweet, just as wonderful, introduces a weather element. I just have 200 board games in my house. It's all I allow. So I couldn't keep that one and this one. I chose this one because it's the original, it's simple, and it's fast, and I could play it over and over and have. I don't know how many times we played this game. It's just amazing. That's Savannah Park. All right, this is a game that came out, I believe, in 22. I'm going to guess. Yes, 2022. Fife. Fife is an interesting game. And it's a puzzle game like all these are. And if you have not played Fife, I challenge you to do so. You will love it. The publishing of this game, by the way, is fantastic. Dual layer player boards, wooden tokens you're going to draw out of a bag that have all these pictures of flowers and fruit on them, and you're going to take that tile, draw out of the bag, and you have to play one off your board. I think you got 2 on your board. I think you got to play one off your board. The one you draw out of the bag is going to go on your board, but you're going to choose where to place those in your dual layered player board. And while you're doing that, you have these surfboards that are going to have scoring opportunities on them, like all the same number, all the same symbol, and then you have 3 of one symbol, 2 of another, and you get to decide where to put those surfboards. And that is so hard to do because you haven't even finished your board, and you're like, okay, I'm going to put it on this row and pray that I get the tokens I need to make something happen in that row or column, or I think you can even do it diagonal. Yeah, you can even score diagonally. So you get to decide how your board scores, but you're going to have to do it like predicting the future. Oh, it hurts so bad. But here's the thing, this Kosh is the designer. Now Lori and I loved this game so much when we got it, and we got it for like 19 bucks from Cool Stuff. They were going out of business sale.
Yeah.
And this game, again, the publishing's outstanding. But this Kosh person, we looked it up, and he did a game called For Shuffle. And so we wanted to play that game, which we did at the convention. That is a fantastic game also, For Shuffle. But man, Fife is such a wonderful puzzle game. If you have the opportunity, get this played at your local game store so you can see what I mean. And that's Fife. All right, this is a game that was in my top, it was in my number 2 for 2023. This is Tesseract. And Tesseract is a game by James Fernhaber, but this is so outstanding, and it's a deconstruction game using dice. You're going to have a cube of dice, and it represents this thing that has appeared over the earth, and you have to deconstruct that dice cube, because if you don't, it's going to blow up and kill everybody, burn them to a crisp here on Earth. So you're heroic. You're going to go in there, and, with those suits on, with the air tanks and the masks and everything, you're going to deconstruct this cube of dice. And it's a cooperative game, and we like it because of that. It's very simple. It has player aids, hints written on everything that you lay on the table to play this game so that you don't have to go in the rule book. So fantastic. I just love this game. Again, it was my number 2 game from 2023. That's Tesseract. And also I want to tell you about, in Tesseract, it comes with a cardboard stand that the ball-bearing plastic piece sits on, and you put the cube of dice on that, and so you can spin it around because you're trying to locate different dice values and so forth. But you can 3D print this piece for that game, and it's in 2 sections, and it's a hand that holds the tray, and then that plastic tray that comes in the game sits on top of here, so you can spin that dice cube around. But that's pretty cool, isn't it? And we got that printed in our library. So we were able to send them the, what's it called?
STL file.
STL file. See, I don't understand any of that. I like the benefits of it. I don't understand how it works. But Lori found the STL file, sent it to our library, and they printed that for us. And of course, you have to pay.
You just pay for the filament.
Yeah,
that's all you pay for.
Pay for the filament. It was so awesome. What was it, like $11? It was pretty cool though. But when it's on the table, it looks awesome. But yeah, that goes with Tesseract. All right, let's move on. And this is a little game called Patterns. Now, Patterns is a mandala game. If you watch my recent video about top 10 card games, mandala was in that top 10 list. And mandala is so lovely. It's such a great balance of complexity and speed. Man, that game plays fast and it's complex, and I love it. Patterns is just as wonderful, just as juicy, just as elegant. Wow, what an outstanding game this is. And it has a linen board just like mandala. And you simply have a bowl of sand tokens, and there's sand tokens on that towel in the mandala, and you're going to exchange one of those sand tokens out of your bowl for one in the mandala. And then you're going to take, because you have a river, a scoring river, just like in mandala, from values 1 to 6, and each one of those you'll have a token with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on it, and whichever you decide, you're going to take that token and assign a value to that token you just placed in the mandala. And then you're trying to build contiguous groups of color out there in that mandala. Oh my gosh, this game hurts my head. We've played it a lot, and I'm still figuring out some of the strategies that are available. This tiny little box. It's a cheap game, man, and I like telling you guys that. Hey, there's nowhere else on the internet, no other board game channel that are going to say, hey, go buy this game, it's cheap. I care about the board gaming industry, but I don't lean on it for a paycheck. A lot of other channels do. The big ones, the sale of brand new games is going to have a direct impact on the revenue that they're generating with their channel. I don't care. I'm just telling you about good games. This is our hobby, and I love Patterns. You'll love it. I think it's like 19 bucks, something like that. It's ridiculously cheap. Okay, next one I'm going to talk about is Project L. Project L, this is a game that Lori discovered, was after me for quite a while to play it. And I just looked at it and thought, really, you want to play that? That's what happens in this hobby. There's so many games. We were at a convention, and I saw it laying on the shelf, and I said, well, I think I saw it laying on the shelf in the library. I said, oh, Lori wants to play that. I'm going to grab it. So I grabbed it, checked it out of the library. We went and played it, and I said, you were right. You were right. This is a really good game. But you have tiles that you're simply going to try to complete the shape of using acrylic shapes that are in this box. And let me show you real quick. If you have not played this game is it's just wonderful. I mean, I can't say enough about it. And you have a player aid that's going to be in front of you and tell you all the actions you can take. And that's pretty cool and helps out the game a lot. Then you'll have a stack of white tiles and a stack of black tiles. And as you can see on this tile right here, you see that white shape? You're going to try and make that using these acrylic shapes that come with the game. And you can do that in so many different ways. You can have at least 4 of these in front of you, these puzzle tiles, and you can do what's called a master action and place one of those acrylic tokens on each one of those. Or you can place 2 on one of them, however you want to do it. And once you complete that puzzle piece, it has a point total on it sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it'll just have the shape of another piece because you start out with just a limited amount of those acrylic pieces. And the only way you can build up your library of pieces is to complete these puzzles and get more of these pieces. It's an engine builder. You just keep it. Reminds me a lot of Splendor. If you enjoy that feeling of Splendor when you're doing that engine building, hey, same game. And just in a different format. And we absolutely adore it. We've played the heck out of this game, and it's another one that when we get it out, we play it a lot. Even my grandson loves to play this game. Yeah, we played this game 15 times, and I could play it 15 times tonight, but it's outstanding. It's called Project L. All right, this is another game this is a game from 2024. It's the only one in my top 10 puzzle games from 2024. This is called Nocturn. The reason why I wanted to put this game in this list is because it's new, but because it's also by the publishers AEG and Flat Out Games that did Calico, Verdant, and Cascadia. 3 games we love, right? I mean, we've loved all 3 of those games and enjoy them. And I left Calico out of this list. I love Calico. It's my favorite of the series. But Nocturn is different because it uses a bidding mechanism in it, and it works outstanding at the 2-player count. Very rare. All of these games I'm showing you play outstanding at 2 because that's who we mostly play with. 95% of our gaming is done just Lori and I, and it's probably why we love co-op games so much. But these puzzle games, these little puzzle games, all play well at 2. And in Nocturn, it's a set collection game with such a twist. You have a group of, 10 or 12 bidding tokens. They're numbered 1 to 9, I think, but you're going to use those to bid on tiles that you're trying to collect for your set collection. And you have one bidding tile that has a star on it, and that is one you put down. You can't be outbid. That's my tile. You're going to take that tile. And that is so outstanding. I just love this game. I mean, it's It's in my top 10 for 2024. It can't be knocked out because it's an outstanding design by David Iezzi. You have these cards, you're some kind of a mystic fox. I don't know where they come up with these themes at, but you're the mystic fox out there in the woods trying to cast spells. You're collecting these spell tiles, but it's actually a set collection thing, and depending on how you put those collections together is how you're going to score. A person with the most points wins. Has a board down here. I can't think of the name of it.
I want to say it's the spirit board.
Spirit board,
sure.
Yeah, and where you have to put some of your bidding tokens that you've already used on that spirit board in order to get any tiles off of that board. You don't want to be shut out on that board. Man, Nocturn, just outstanding game. That game is outstanding. All right, okay. Next game is by J. Alex Kevern, and you may recognize J. Alex Kevern's name. He has some great designs. The one that we still have in our library is Gold West, which we adore, Gold West. And it was reprinted recently. We have the old TMG version, but we love playing it. Lori got that game for me for Father's Day one year, and I've never grown tired of it. We're going to talk about Sentient. And Sentient is it's a set collection, area majority dice game. Man, I tell you, this is one that will twist your brain. You have a group of dice. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to have 5 dice. Beautiful engraved dice, by the way. Colorful, beautiful. And they are custom dice for the game. So that's awesome. You roll those dice and you're going to place them on your factory board, and then you are going to draft robot cards, and on each robot card, up in the upper left-hand corner and upper right-hand corner will be plus and minuses, because you're going to have values already showing on those dice. And in order to satisfy the card, you're going to need maybe to adjust those dice. So you want to look and draft those robot cards to adjust those dice so that they score the card, and that's what you're trying to do. So it has a area majority thing going on, and you'll have agents, which are meeples, and then assistants that go with them, and whoever has the most agents and assistants in a certain area earn investor tokens that are multipliers for the set collection of the robots you put together. Because once you complete those robot cards, you've satisfied with those dice values, those robot cards and scored them. Each one of those are a type of robot, and when you have that set collection element, then it's going to be multiplied by the investors that you were able to win through the area control. It is a lot to absorb. It's a puzzle that'll hurt your head, and I really love it. It's outstanding. I guarantee you, if you like putting together puzzly games, you're going to love Sentient by J. Alex Kevern. All right, then we're going to talk about a game called Noval Luna. Noval Luna is a game by Uwe Rosenberg and Corné van Moorsel. And Uwe Rosenberg, I think he's done 1 or 2 other games, didn't he? Yeah, Uwe Rosenberg's a great board game designer. And Corné van Moorsel did a game that we liked.
Habitats.
Habitats. Yeah, that was an outstanding tile laying game. But this one is so incredible. I love it. And you have this ring that you see on the back of this box, and this moon token that you're going to move around the ring. And you can move, I think, 1 to 3 spaces and select a tile that has designs on it. And you're going to put that in your tableau. And once you complete that, you're going to take one of your 25 tokens and put it on that completed pattern. Whoever places their last token wins the game. There's no bonus points, nothing to add up. You place that last token, you've completed that many patterns, you win the game. So I love this game. And it has that mechanism just like Patchwork, where if you want a tile that's 3 spaces away, well, that's just great. You really want that, go ahead and grab it. But whoever's in the back gets to take their turn. So if that player behind you may get to take 2 or 3 turns if you go out far enough ahead. Oh my gosh, Noval Luna is fantastic, inexpensive if you can find it. I don't know if it's still available or not.
I don't know if it is or not.
But, oh, yeah, just outstanding, Noval Luna. All right, the last game I'm going to talk about is by Michael Kiesling. You know, the Kramer and Kiesling guy that I talked about for Savannah Park. And Kramer and Kiesling, I mean, we go on and on. I mean, Vikings and Palaces of Carrara, Porto Nigra.
Taurus.
What is it?
Taurus.
Taurus, yeah, I mean, you just go on and on. But Miabi is a game that was published by Haba. Haba, well known for doing kids games or younger adult games, family-style games. And this is a family-style game, I guess you would call it, but it's a tile-laying game. You're building a Japanese garden. Now, how boring is that? You know, I'm sure I would have rather had some other theme for what we're doing here, but it doesn't hurt the game, and when you're playing it, you don't care what the theme is because it hurts your head so bad. And it has 6 modules in it to make adjustments to the game and changes and additions to the game that you can put in it to give this game so much replayability and variety. It's just fantastic. And in here you're going to have a board with designs off to the left of your garden, and you have lanterns at the top of the board, and you have to place a tile that has that particular shape that's on the left in that column on your board, and then you place your lantern on that board to show that you've used that column. Once you've used that column, you can't use it again, and that will begin to hurt your head. And the scoring is amazing in this game because you can stack these tiles. So if you've got a number 2 fish and you put it on the first level, 2 points. You put it on the second level, 2 times 2, 4 points. If you can put that 2 fish token on the third level, 2 times 3, 6 points. So you can see how that works because you can stack these tiles. Wow, I love this game. Every time we play it, we have the best time, you guys. And that's by Michael Kiesling. He's outstanding, I'm telling you. But this is an outstanding game by a great board game designer. And that is it for my top 10 puzzle games. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you have played them. If you haven't, seek them out and play them. I would love to hear from every one of you in the comments if you've played any of those games, or if you have some games that you love that are puzzle in nature that take 30 to 40 minutes to play, even less in some cases. Hey, King Domino. Forgot about that one, right?
Oh yeah,
Right there.
Domino.
King
Yeah.
Domino, another great game. The giant version we have.
Yeah.
I love that game. Outstanding. And I wanted to tell you also, I've been playing this game, The Mandalorian Adventures. It's good. We've only played 2 scenarios, right? We've played 2 scenarios, but I can see how the game's working now. Of course, we were predisposed. We love The Mandalorian. We watched the whole thing. We waited for it to finish publishing it, and then we binged it. That's the only way I do things. But we love The Mandalorian, and you're going to play your way through that story in a spiral book that you turn pages, and it tells a story, and then has a map where you're going to complete a mission. And you know, you've got the child in there, and it's just fun. And so we've had a good time with it so far. But I'll talk about it in a future video when I finish playing all the way through it, because I think, yeah, it's got some secret stuff. We're going to open up in envelopes, and Lori and I will form an opinion after we've completed the play. But hey, that's our puzzle games. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please take a second on your telephone or on your TV set to give our channel a like. Yeah, this is a hobby we love sharing with you. I don't know how long I'll do it. I'll be 69 in November, but I like the hobby. I love these board games that I tell you about, and so that's what this channel is about. And I'll see you the next time on The Bones Collector. I love every one of you. Keep on board gaming. Best hobby on the planet. You heard it from me. You know it's a fact. Bye-bye.